everyone, welcome back to Swans Cast, and the season has finally kicked off. We finally had a competitive match of football played by Swansea City, where we went away to Rotherham, who came up from League One last season, to kick off our season. And I'm joined by Lee today to talk about it, so welcome back, Lee.
Hello.
How are you feeling now the football season is officially kicked off, and obviously Premier League this weekend?
Yeah, better. It's back, isn't it? You wonder what you did for your weekends before. I was just like, it's back. Thank God. Stressing over my fantasy team all week. Changed it about 4 million times, so I just need the deadline to come now, so I can't change anymore.
When is the deadline? Probably tonight, is it? Or tomorrow night? Probably.
Tomorrow, Friday night, 6:30 before the Arsenal game.
I'm going to do mine now, and I did just renew our Super 6 League, which is just there for a bit of fun. I know I didn't actually check in that often last season, but
they start. I like they start with a Friday game, but they should definitely have more Friday games going forward. Friday night games, class.
Yeah, it's like you finish work and got something to look forward to.
And they should have like the champions against the championship winners as the first game every year.
That would be good.
So I
actually,
remember one year they had Liverpool.
We had that with like our first game was against Man City, wasn't it? After they won the league, but we won the champions. We were the playoff winners.
I think they should do that every year. No, I think they won the league that year that we came up.
Okay.
They won the league.
Yeah, they signed Aguero. Yeah, they signed Aguero. Yeah.
Yeah, they should do They should do the title winners against the playoff winners or the championship title winners. Should be the first game on the Friday night every year.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting.
I like that.
And it's nice to have football back after we didn't get a World Cup this summer. We got robbed of that by politics and money.
And weather.
Controversial. Well, maybe it's not actually. It's more controversial that it's not happening in the summer than it is to say that it's not happening in the summer, I think. But there we go. At least Wales will be in it this time. When is it? November?
November starts it.
Yeah. Be a weird season. But obviously we're here today to talk about the Swans. Now the season's kicked off, but before we get into it, as always, I'd like to ask every one of you, if you don't mind, please can you click that big red subscribe button down there somewhere underneath Lee, I think. Usually it's down there. If you can click that, really helps us out. We really want to get to 1,000 subscribers this season. First goal will be 500, and we have said for a while, when we get to 500, we're going to do a giveaway of a Swansea shirt. We're looking at the third kit, probably. Obviously, we'll get the size correct to whoever wins it, but that's what we want to do. So when we get to 500, we're going to do a giveaway. So click that big red subscribe button. If you don't think you've got a YouTube account, then it's any sort of Google account that you have that you can use to subscribe. And always as well, if you do like what we are talking about, click the thumbs up because that helps more people see the video, which helps us grow. And let us know in the comments down below what you think about what we've discussed. How would you find the first game of the season? Russell Martin's style of play after he's had a pre-season, is it more the same? Does it look like we've got better things to come this year? Let us know. And obviously whatever we discuss about for the rest of the video.
God, that's a good sales pitch.
Well, I hope so. We'll see if our numbers go up. But let's get straight into it then. So as I said, our first game this season was away at Rotherham. I think I said 2-1 win, and you might have said draw, did you?
I think I said 1-1.
Well, the draw was the correct result. However, I'm going to put my neck on the line and say I got robbed by a Michael Obafemi sitter that I don't even know how he didn't score, and I'm sure we'll get on to discuss that. But yeah, what did you think of the game overall?
I thought, first, again, how many times I said this last season, first 20 minutes, we were class. We absolutely dominated the game. It might have been 20 minutes up until they scored. It was just complete control. They were moving the ball so well. I remember talking to people and I said, they look so sharp. Yeah, they were moving the ball. And then, again, stupid goal to concede. Terrible defending. First shot on target, 1-0 down. And you just think, here we go again. It's the same as last season. But in all fairness, they did keep playing. They had a couple of chances. And Darling scored a worldie from nowhere. Just didn't expect.
What a way to introduce yourself.
Didn't expect that at all. But to be fair, like we desperately needed someone like that who will have a crack.
Yeah, centre back.
No, it is though, because like again, they went 1-0 up. They were just parked behind the ball for the rest of the first half. Actually, they should have scored the second goal after they scored the first one, right after. So we could have been 2-0 down. But then after that, we played quite well. and then Darlin scored the worldie. And then I think it was pretty even, second half. I think the draw was probably fair apart from the Obafemi chance.
Yeah, draw was probably fair, but I think we could have definitely won the game. But you can't argue with a draw. And the draw away is always a good result, especially first game of the season. I think it's more important to not lose the first game of the season rather than like get the win. I think it's more important to not lose, especially when you're away.
Yeah.
You can always build on a draw away.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a banana skin always, though, a newly promoted team coming back up and going there first game of the season where you're not quite, no one's quite up to match fitness there. So it's, I'd say you take a draw on the road all day, but
yeah, definitely. And you could tell everyone was a bit like rusty in the league because I think every single game there was not more than 3 goals scored, like a 2-1, for example. And I think there was only one game where there was 3 goals, and then a few had 2 and then a few 1-0s, and there's just a very low scoring round of football in the Championship. I'll get it up now just to like check. But yeah, so Hull City beat Bristol City 2-1, which I think was the biggest scoring game. And then there was only 2 other teams that scored 2 goals. Sorry, one other team that scored 2 goals, and that was Millwall. No one else scored 2 goals, so Hull and Millwall. So yeah, it just says it all.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to judge the first game of the season, isn't it? It's really hard to judge where you are. So it's really, it's a bit of a dodgy one.
I think a lot of people are quite tentative, though. There's a lot of draws.
Yeah.
And people just, like I said, I think a lot of people think it's more important to not lose the first game. It seems like a lot of people felt that way. But anyway, going back to our game. So let's talk about the first goal, because it did come quite early. And you said it was disappointing, looked like a poor defensive mistakes, still let a little bit. It is early days with our new defenders. So the 3 of them that played this game. Matthew Sorinola on left wing back, Harry Darlin, left centre-back, and Nathan Wood, right centre-back. Norton stayed in the middle, and Latavodia was playing right wing back. Looking at the goal, because I watched the replay quite a few times and even slowed it down. I know Norton gets the first header, which is the touch, but there's 3 Swansea players on the one Rotherham player that is in that area. So obviously it's a long throw in, going to the Rotherham player. I'm not entirely sure who it is. Norton actually wins the ball because he's under so much pressure getting pushed from, like, I think the players behind him. Gets a really bad contact and kind of flicks it on to the second Rotherham player, who ends up scoring the goal. So that was Ogben. I'm not really sure who's at fault, though. I think maybe a bit of everyone. But Latavodia, for me, you probably don't notice he's there unless you watch the replay as much as I did. But he's literally, like, irrelevant in that defending period. He's irrelevant. I don't understand, for a centre-back, how can you consider yourself a centre-back when he's dealt with that the way it is? And yeah, Norton got the bad touch. But if you watch the replay back, Latavodia is basically underneath all of the players, just there, doing nothing.
Yeah, I was so pissed off at that because it's just like a long throw in again. What I wanted to see was just us be more solid straight away, because that was the one thing last year that was that was lacking. We conceded goals for fun, so to concede a goal like that first game of the season, I was just thinking, here we go again. But in all fairness, it's still hard to judge the first game of the season. Like you said, there's 2 new defenders there that have got to gel in, so I won't be too harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to know whose man it actually was, because, like I said, there's 3 of them marking him, or if they're doing zonal marking or whatever.
But it seemed like it was like Darlin's man, but I think because of the flick on.
Well, it wasn't Darlin that was there, though, was it? It was Woods.
Yeah, it was Darlin that was like touching him when he just gets up in front of Darlin and flicks it on. It's not his fault because he's just like, he can't do anything about it because the ball's in front of him. He's goal side of his player, which is where he should be. It's just that flick.
Oh, you mean the guy that scored was next to Darlin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on about the little bit before with the flick on. I feel like that's where the main problem is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's 3 of them there, so Norton is like not goal side. Maybe that's the big problem. But then you've got like Latavodia's coming in, and just like I said, he's kind of like I don't know, a little kid running through the legs of the adults. That's what it seems like, the way he's acting in that defensive period. Because you've got Norton there trying to like back into the attacker. The attacker's obviously trying to push Norton forward, which is why Norton gets a bad touch, because he can't get the good contact because he's stretching. And then Wood kind of dives in from the side late and misses completely. And I think that might even helps the player push Norton out the way that he jumps in. So it's just shambles from all parts, really. I'm not really sure like who should take the bulk of the blame, because if it was just one man defending your one man, which it probably should be, maybe we wouldn't have even had the problem. But
it's just a weird one. Just a mess overall.
Yeah, and I think Andrew Fisher in goals didn't have any chance to save it either.
No. Oh, no. He had no chance. There's no way he's getting that.
No. Well, disappointing start anyway, but as you said, continued to perhaps play quite well on the ball. Nearly conceded the second, but weathered the storm and took control again before getting the second. Found it quite funny. It was an assist for Matt Grimes, but people were already slating Matt Grimes on social media because he got man of the match. And, well, the Swans man of the match went to Matt Grimes. I don't know if he was the official one. And then you had the comments like, oh, man of the match because he got a 5-yard pass assist. Like, what a joke. But, like, the stats were 4 key passes created, 1 assist, whatever his accuracy were, And then you've got people in the comments like, oh, yeah, well, you're obviously going to get this accuracy when all you do is 5-yard pass it. And then you can't really count an assist from 5 yards. All right, what about the 4 key chances? I mean, they were buried, but he still created those chances, which obviously weren't 5-yard passes. But like, why are you just not acknowledging that stat?
Because it's just going to be the great. It's just going to be the great mystery in it forever, for as long as Matt Grimes plays for us. I just don't get it.
I thought he had a good game.
Solid. Oh yeah, he did have a good game. Yeah. Again, he just picked up where he left off last season. Solid.
He's doing what he's asked to do, is to control the ball in the middle and pass it around. Again. Like, he's not there to play a John Joe Shelby 50-yard ball up the pitch. That's not what he's in the team to do. He's in the team to pick the ball up from the defenders and pass it to the other people further up the pitch or next to him in midfield.
Yeah, I'd say it's just like, and people won't admit it again, but he is Leon Britton.
That's you didn't see Leon Britton doing any of these other things and getting all these assists to do.
No, exactly.
He was the master of a 5-yard pass, but apparently that was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously put his heart and soul into Swansea, and everyone loved that. And I really enjoyed Leon Britton, but I don't understand how you can enjoy a player like Leon Britton, but then give Matt Grimes so much stick. I just don't understand it. But anyway, we're in the first episode, and we've already started.
We're going to be saying that. We're going to be saying that all season.
So we just passed to Darlin, and it obviously, I don't think the intent was to get an assist. Yeah, we'll acknowledge that, but it was an assist nonetheless. As Darlin released a bit of a boot of a shot into the top sort of right corner or right-hand side of the goal, maybe not quite a top corner, but the keeper had no chance.
Oh, it was a screamer. Just wasn't expecting it at all. Again, I've been crying out for somebody, preferably a midfielder that will hit one from range and hit the target. But if he's going to bomb forward and do that, that's fine. I mean, he got 10 goals last year. I
was going to say 10 goals last year.
And it's usually like highlights of him playing, and he's in the box. He's making runs from centre half up into like the 6-yard box. So
definitely suits the style based on that. So a very good goal. When he sort of shaped up to hit the ball, I was like, oh God, here we go, Rosette, but back of the net. So can't complain. I think if you watch the video we released before this one, it's a pre-match video where I speak to Rovers chat ahead of the next game. He was talking about him watching the highlights for the league, and he said he saw Harry Darlin's goal, and I think Blackburn scored quite a good goal themselves, a curling outside of the box goal last week. And he said, he was like, oh, that's definitely going to be goal of the week. And then he saw Darlin's goal, and he was like, never mind.
Great way to start, though. I mean, talking about a ball-playing defender, I don't know if we'll come on to individual performances later, but he looked solid to me.
Yeah, I think he did have a good game. I think he was a lot more solid than Nathan Wood was the other side. Not saying he had a bad game necessarily, but I think Darlin looked the better player.
I was surprised with Wood though. I thought didn't really know what we were going to get with him, but I thought he played quite well on the ball though.
Yeah,
Especially
like I say, he
first,
wasn't bad,
20
but
minutes.
the other one stood out, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Darlin looked good on the ball, but I was like pleasantly surprised with Wood because that, especially in our first 20 minutes, he was getting on the ball and he was making runs and he was overlapping Latbodia sometimes as well. I thought he looked good on the ball as well. So I think like if they can, obviously they need more game time, but I was quietly impressed with all the back three there. Obviously Norton again, was class, was solid.
Well, while we've touched on the new players, let's just talk about Sorinola as well. A bit of a hit and miss game for him. Maybe definitely got more to show going forward.
I got to be honest. I'm not going to judge him first game of the season, but I thought he was poor.
Yeah,
I watched the game and I just thought he was poor. There was so many, but there seemed to be so many times where like somebody was passing him the ball and he was running the other way. So maybe
that could just be like he needs to gel.
Yeah, and
he did nearly score.
Yeah, he did get into some good positions as well, but then his like final delivery was awful.
But he nearly scored by accident.
Yeah, there was one moment in the second half where like he loses the ball and then he's just really casually like, "Oh yeah, I've like lost the ball." But the ball, like someone,
it was there to be won, wasn't it? Like he could have turned around and got it. Yeah,
doesn't go back for it.
Yeah,
and gets booked, and then he takes him off. Then, but it's early days, his first game. But definitely didn't play as well as he can. Hopefully,
it'd be interesting to see if he keeps Ryan Manning out of the team.
Yeah, but this is what I don't get. Like, I was convinced you'd play Manning left wing back and Sorinola right wing back.
I thought that as
why
well.
Would you
obviously, trust Latbodia.
Why would you not play specialised wing backs in their position?
I don't know. Are they comfortable on the right? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
you could even move Norton back to the right.
Playing on the wing.
Got Cabango back this week. Do you think you'll move Norton back to the right?
No, I can't see it. I think Norton is going to be in there, and I think it's going to be between Wood and Cabango.
Yeah, but I'd rather put Darlin in the middle, put Cabango where he is, put Norton right back.
Maybe that's the plan.
Then play Latbodia right back. I'd rather.
That's probably got to be the plan going forward anyway, because we said like Norton's not going to be around forever. So I think Darlin in the middle is probably the plan for the future.
Be interesting anyway.
I don't want to slate Latbodia as well, because I think he's solid. Like he's good like on the ball. He's tidy, but he gets into good positions, and he just hasn't got the final product.
Yeah, I don't want to slate him either. He's centre back by trade. I think he's just one of them players that's like unlucky in a way that he's a centre back, but he's not really tall enough.
Yeah,
he hasn't got the skill to be like the right wing back that we are after.
Yeah,
so he's kind of a versatility player for us. But I'm not slating him, and I thought he was solid, okay, in this game. But if we have aspirations of like looking at the playoffs or going up, in this system, relying on the wing back roles to be creative and get in dangerous spaces, then we need to get someone there that can do the proper job, and he can't do that.
I agree with you 100%, and that's why it's not taking out on him. It's just frustrating that he has to play a centre back at right wing back, because there were so many times on the weekend where, like Perot, for example, was great again. He was getting on the ball in that deeper position, but he was like double marked most of the game. They obviously know.
Yeah, if you've got a Christie or Led up pushing up the line,
you need an outlet out there, because like the ball was going wide, and you just needing someone to take some attention away. Like I always remember, like when we first got promoted that championship season, when you had Dyer on the wing, and he would just like terrorise defences. So they double mark him, and then obviously you had Sinclair on the other side. You can't double mark them both.
Yeah.
It's just we need to have a bit more creativity out on the wing to take attention away from Perot in the middle.
Yeah, and even like we saw in the end of last season, you had Cameron Congreve covered there. Maybe that's an option going forward, but like I'm not sure how.
Maybe
if they've worked on that much in pre-season, he's on the bench here, but it'd be interesting. Like especially maybe not away. I understand it away. You want to maybe have the more defensive route, but at home games, if we're struggling for creativity, I wouldn't mind taking the risk of having someone like that there, who isn't primarily a defender, but going up the other way, they're gonna scare defenses.
I tell you what, if we could have someone like Led back on loan, That'd be dangerous.
Led or Christie? Who do you? Connor Roberts.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, Christie and Led, when they played for us last season, were both class.
Yeah.
So I can't really complain.
I do feel like there may be something else to come from the transfer market.
Yeah, I think so.
Got a couple of weeks left, is it? 3 weeks?
I don't think we can play the rest of the season with Lat Bodier, a right wing back.
When does it end? Is it the end of August?
End of August, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, like 3 weeks left then, or 4 weeks even. It's a long time, really, when we've started the season now to have the transfer window open. I'm not a fan of that.
No, it's where it is long, isn't it?
Because you think, like, you wouldn't have that long now, right? We only got to hold on to our players for a little bit longer. Remember the year we got relegated and Federico Fernandez played the first game and then he left?
Yeah.
But now we could have, like, 5 games under our belt before Perot potentially goes.
I'm still sticking with it. He's going on deadline day. I'm just not. I'm just ready.
Apparently, the Brighton interest has cooled, and they're not.
Yeah, until that transfer window shuts, I'm not.
I think it could go quiet though. Like, there's not many clubs in the Prem, I don't think, that are searching for a last-minute striker. I know Chelsea are, but I can't see them going there.
Premiership clubs have been way too quiet for me at the moment. I think when the season starts this weekend now and stuff happens, I think there'll be bids coming in everywhere. There'll be players coming in.
He's got to go to just a Prem club, and he'll have to. What was Downs? 12?
Yeah.
So he's minimum 20 for Perot.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. McBurney, like, he had one season for us, really, where he scored not as many as Perot.
Yeah, I think a club will come in on deadline day with a desperation bid. I think that they'll probably want to take.
The problem I have, because I'm not, if we get that money for him, I can accept it, yeah?
Yeah.
The problem I have with the deadline day departure is, how do you replace him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the problem I have. And maybe you don't replace him with one player. Maybe you buy a striker and you buy a right back, but it's just not much time. That's the problem I have. So they've done well so far this season, this transfer window, in terms of holding firm. They've got a good fee for Downs, and we have to credit, because we criticised a lot with the way they've handled recent departures, Connor Roberts, Jamal Lowe, Joe Roder, maybe not getting the maximum out of them. And they've done quite well with Downs after 1 year. So we'll see. I don't want to get excited too soon, but it seems a little bit better at the moment.
No,
we'll see.
I think the other way around.
If he doesn't go, it's the last. We have to go up to keep him. That's the bottom line. If he doesn't go, we have to go up to keep him.
I'm still in that mindset that he's going. So anything else is a bonus.
Yeah, look, if he does, he does. I mean, I've accepted that. I'm just saying, he's still here at the moment. So let's take it how it is for now, and then we'll deal with what comes. But going forward then, as we've spoken about the 2 goals in this game now, a little bit of chit chat in between. Second half, obviously there wasn't any goals to talk about, but we did see, and we touched on it earlier, it should have been another goal. Joe Perot, actually, the man that created this with a run from the halfway line, showing that he's not just about finishing, but really nifty actually on his feet. Really good dribbling. He'd taken players on with some close ball control as well. It wasn't just run, hit the ball and run. It was some close ball control to sort of take players on.
He is class, mind. We looked like we needed a bit of creation, and he was just dropping deeper and deeper and picking up the ball and making things happen. He was class.
Low cross across the box, which I think must have caught over Femi off, that actually got to him, because there was a defender just ahead of him, wasn't it? Which isn't an excuse at all, but it goes to tap it in, but it hits the back of his heel and then just kind of goes parallel with the goal line, doesn't it? And just
it was so bad. That miss is just so bad. I
think it's complacency. He was kind of celebrating before he'd put it in, I think, in his head.
It was so bad. I had to watch it back a couple of times, thinking that he might have been trying to square it. To be a bit cocky, square it back to someone to tap in.
Yeah,
I thought that's what he was trying to do, but it just hits the back of his heel.
He just gets it wrong. That's why I'm thinking, does he take his eye off the ball a little bit because that defender is in the way, and he's a bit surprised that it's got to him? But you've just got to be ready for it regardless.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. Yeah,
there's no excuse. But that's the only thing I can think that must have happened, is he's surprised this come through.
Maybe.
He needs to put that in the back of the net, and then all of a sudden 2-1 up, and it's a completely different conversation here. And
oh yeah, we go on and win the
performance
game,
all round.
and I have no doubt
Yeah.
we go on and win the game. But I don't know. Even Obafemi was another one. I don't think he had a good game, to be honest. In general,
No,
I don't think he played that well. His touch was way off. There was so many times where his touch like an elephant. Just
so that goal could have really helped him.
yeah, and there was
start
one bit in the second half as well where Perot was played it into him, and then Perot was running like alongside him, where he's literally just got to lay it off to him, and he's on that left foot, and he's definitely in the target, and he plays it short. It's like, oh, you literally just had to play it to him, and he plays the ball like to him instead of in front of him, and he has to check his run.
Yeah.
If you watch that back, I was literally ready for a Perot like curler in the top corner because he's like running onto it, and Obafemi's got his back to goal, and he's literally just got to lay it off to him. And the first touch ball, the first time pass was just awful.
There was another chance, wasn't there? I think Fulton laid Patterson off, and he had a good shot saved.
Yeah, it was a good save. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah, and, that was a good opportunity.
As a positive as well, thinking about that, Fisher made some good saves as well.
I was going to say, let's not discredit Rotherham. They did put up a good challenge, and they did also have a couple of chances in the second half. And Andy Fisher had quite a bit of stick last season. Not everyone was so impressed with him, but he done well today, on this game. He had a really good game, especially as a goalkeeper with his saving. He made some good saves. There's one where he tipped it over the bar as well from distance.
Yeah.
But a couple of closer range ones that he managed to get hold of and keep. So good performance from Andy Fisher. So that's good going forward. Maybe now he's had a pre-season with the defence. It's a bit more stable there. But obviously there is newcomers there as well. So I'd imagine we saw the mix-up in pre-season. But hopefully all that's done and dusted and they can build a good, strong relationship at the back.
Yeah.
Other than that, looking at the bench then. So it's not the most you probably look at some championship teams and the benches and think, oh, they got some quality there. But I find it a little bit exciting. It's not too much different from a bench we might have seen last season. But there's two players there that I was like, I would love to see these a lot more going forward. And that's Ollie Cooper and Cameron Congreve. But neither of them got on the pitch, and I was very disappointed with that.
I know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Because that game was crying out for someone like Congreve to just come on with a bit of energy. And
well, either of them, they're both attacking, creative players.
Yeah, I think the game was crying out for one of them, I think. But I don't know. Seems to be like that. Maybe he's just trying to, I don't know, ease him in sort of thing, not play him too much at once. But I just think put him on. 1-1, we were sort of in the game. I think a bit of creativity there. We might have nicked the winner, but maybe
we didn't use all of our
subs
either. So
maybe didn't want to push it and maybe concede at the other end. So we'll see.
But if you got Obafemi who's not having the best game, you could put Joe Pro up front rather than on the right. And then
that's
bring
right.
one of these
That's what
guys
I thought
in.
he should have done. Yeah, because he didn't take Obafemi off, did he? So I thought
no,
I would have taken Obafemi off and put Pro up front, and then
I just thought he would have given one of them 10 minutes. But there we go. Especially Congreve, who got a couple of appearances towards the end of the season. But there we go. Even Liam Cullen was on the bench as another striker. To try and get that winning goal, isn't it? Just chuck him on.
we had
see what he can offer.
We finished that game with 73-74% possession as well. Just think we would have had a chance, but there we go.
Yeah. Ryan Manning and Cham did come on for Soranola and Cham. Patterson obviously said Soranola not the best game. So he brought on Manning, which says to me that position is up for grabs from the two of them. It's not necessarily set in stone that Soranola is going to be first team every week. Manning's still there and he's still getting a chance to show that he should be first team. Obviously, there was, I think, occasions last season where Manning did become a bit of a liability and Martin did not rely on him as much towards the end of the season, especially with Wolf being available. So now maybe if you can stamp that out of the game and be more reliable and consistent, he'll work his way back into the team. But he's got a challenge now, so I guess that's a good thing. What did you make of those two when they came on?
They didn't do much, to be fair. Nothing to write home about, to be fair, at that point in the game. But, they didn't change the game In other words,
No, if you're going to bring in Cham on, like for Patterson, who's one of the forward three, I just think a bit of raw talent from Cooper or Congreve would have just been better.
I'm expecting big things from Cham this season.
Now he's fit.
Well, he should be fit now. He's had a pre-season. He's, everyone keeps telling me how good he is.
Did he do anything in pre-season?
Don't know.
I feel like he didn't really do much. I mean, I don't know. He's just there for me. He's alright, but he's nothing spectacular. He does come on sometimes and do things off a bench, but like I said, for me, sometimes raw talent just wins you a game. Look at Dander's debut, for example. It just works sometimes.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so anything else for this game then? You said about the possession. So we had 74% possession. So, in terms of the playing style, that's well and truly embedded now. He's had a pre-season, so it looks like they're very comfortable on the ball. So hopefully the chance creation and the defence will come. Last season, we weren't at this stage at all. So, let's keep going in the right direction. We had 14 shots against 9. But only 5 on target, whereas Rotherham had 8, which highlights the game Andy Fisher had. He had a good game, made a lot of saves. Let me just check, actually. 7 saves. So out of the 8 shots on target, he had 7 saves. Out of our 14 shots, we had 5 shots on target. So definitely shows that maybe Obafemi won out in his best game, for example. Not the most clinical from us.
Yeah, they gotta. I know, again, it's still only the first game of the season, so we can't really judge. But this was our problem last season. 70% possession and only 5 shots on target. It's not a good turn for the amount of ball you're getting in the game, is it?
No.
And the criticism I had last year with Martin was that we were quite easy to play against. Even though we had all that ball, we were easy to defend against.
Yes, exactly.
We could have won that game, though, with the chances we did create.
We should have won. I mean, ultimately, the Obafemi chance, we should have won that game. I know Rotherham had a good chance after their first goal and it got saved, but the Obafemi chance wasn't going to get saved.
No. Exactly.
It was a tap-in.
No.
The keeper could not have saved that. So that's the difference where, both teams can say, well, we could have won it, Like the Obafemi chance was literally a tap-in. So ultimately, and it was later in the game as well, so you'd like to think we would have held on. I want to shout out the midfield. So one person in particular, Jay Felton, so obviously he was basically out of the club in January. Downs has now left. He started the first game of the season. I think he's well and truly back in the picture here. I know Joe Allen is going to be around, but I can't imagine he's going to start and play 90 minutes for the rest of the season.
No.
And Felton had a lot of criticism last year because maybe he wasn't so accurate when he was on the pitch. He just was a bit rusty all the time. He wasn't playing that much, was he? He's obviously had the pre-season where he's, they probably knew Downs was going for a while. Felton would have been then the starting choice to play alongside Grimes. And he popped in 90% passing accuracy. So I think that's quite good for Felton, who last season people were saying doesn't suit the style. He can't do the passing football. It's not, even though he's done it under Graham Potter, or he's a Steve Cooper player. He's not right for the club. He put in a good shift, I think. And it's good to have someone like him, a bit more height.
Yeah.
And he likes to put in a tackle in the middle.
Yeah, I think it was solid. You need 2 solid players in that hole anyway, because if you've got wing backs bombing forward and someone like Darlin who bombs forward, those 2 are massive anyway. But all the stuff that they do will go unnoticed anyway, like Grimes and Fulton. So if you necessarily don't notice Fulton or Grimes, they probably had a good game.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that game then. So going forward this week, first home game against Blackburn. And if you want to catch up a little bit more about that, as I've already said, we've released a new series called Opposition Preview, where the idea is it'll be a shorter video than the podcast, so something you can catch up on quite quickly, where we're going to try and catch up with opposition fans from the club that we're playing, get some insight and sort of feedback from them about their club coming into the game. So rather than us trying to find out information and say how different clubs are doing, we'll hear it directly from another podcast, for example, of that club. So it gives us a little bit more insight about the upcoming opposition. So the first one's up. We didn't manage to get one for Rotherham, but we got one for Blackburn, so that's up on the channel now. But before we do touch on the Blackburn game ourselves, got a question. Seeing as it's the first game of the season, Lee, and maybe you can give a good insight and your opinion on this. What is your favourite ever, or the best ever for the Swans, in your opinion, first away game of the season?
First away game of the season.
This one was quite dull, yeah? I mean, not dull, but it wasn't the most exciting one this time.
I don't think you're going to remember it in seasons to come, I don't think.
No. So what's the best one that you remember for a long time?
I think the obvious one is the 5-0 QPR, isn't it? Loudup's first game. I think that's an obvious one.
Yeah, that would have been my choice, to be fair.
I think that's an obvious, that was unbelievable because you didn't know what you were getting. New manager.
Yeah.
Some players that we brought in were relatively unknown, like Michu, and we have like Chico Flores, and these sort of players are all unknown to us. And then to have that performance with Michu scoring the screamer as well. That's got to be top 3.
Scott Sinclair's last goal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Scott Sinclair's last goal. I'm trying to think of some other ones now. Some standout ones.
Did we have Man United? Did we?
I think, and a lot of people will say the QPR one, but I think that Man United one, where it was Van Gaal's first game for Man United.
I watched that
Monk's first game, like, as a full season, and they beat them 2-1. I think that's the best one ever, because I remember it was all
walkabout my lunch from work.
Yeah, I think it was all. I think it was just all geared for like Van Gaal's first game, Swansea at home, and then it was the first game of the season on TV as well at 12:30, the early kickoff, and then it was just all geared. It was like King Louis signs everywhere. All the build up on BT was Louis Van Gaal, new manager, Man United are back. Oh, he's going to be brilliant. And then little old Swansea turn up and turn him over. That was
that Key and Sigurdsson?
Yeah, that was the best. That was the best one ever, because the first goal we scored was about 1 million passes, and then it came back and Key scored from outside the box in the corner.
Yeah, it was a bit of the shot was a bit shit as well, was it? If I can remember,
yeah,
it was just a bit like trickle and daisy cutter. Yeah,
a bit of a grass cutter. But it was that was definitely the best one ever.
Did Rooney score for them as well? I think.
Yeah, Rooney scored. Yeah. That was the best
good.
one ever.
That was a good one. I think those two games.
We've had a few good ones, though. I mean, like Sheffield United away was good. It was Potter's first game, and Dan just scored late on.
Yeah, we won 1-0 down.
Yeah, that was a good one. Chelsea away. I remember Ayew's first. That was Ayew's debut when he scored.
Oh, the little back heel thing when he was on the floor and he got back up and him and Gomez and Montero rinsed Ivanovic.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was a good one away.
Yeah,
I think those are the standouts, isn't it? I remember a few where we've lost though. I remember like Man City away, first Premier League game. I always remember.
Yeah, but even now was still. Yeah, we were 0-0 at half time. I think Stephen Dobby hit the post.
We played well. They played. I remember like first half.
Because Aguero came on and just like rinsed us.
Yeah, it came in, and that was Vorm's debut. Was another unknown, and he was class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was a good one.
And I think did Leroy Lita might come on in that as well.
He might have, yeah. And then you got like I don't remember a few where we lost. We had Charlton away, first game when we got promoted to the Championship. We lost 2-0. I remember that. That was, I don't know why that sticks in the brain. I remember that was our first.
Probably because you've been back to the Championship after a while. Yeah. And it was the first one.
And we lost 2-0, and we're like, oh shit, are we gonna like go straight back down? And then Oldham away was good. The year we won League One, we lost that as well, but Jason Scotland scored. That was a good away day. But
some good memories there.
Yeah, there's a few good ones.
Yeah, I would say the QPR one is probably the best, because I think that highlights the start of probably. It's not technically our highest finish in the season, but I think the Michael Laudrup season is probably my favourite season.
Yeah.
Some of the football we played. That season actually also has my favourite, not first home game, but favourite home game, which was against West Brom, where they played Pablo, Dyer and Routledge as 3 rotating wingers behind Michu, and absolutely ran riots against West Brom.
Yeah.
And Lukaku scored for them.
Yeah, that was good. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So Well, yeah, good answer. Then let's go back to current Swansea then, and we've got Blackburn coming up this weekend, the first home game. So maybe we'll have a look at that question next week. The first home game of the season. So back to the Swansea.com stadium. Not sure if I'm going yet. I'm going to have a look what's going on Saturday and see what happens. But I'm guessing you're going to be there.
I will be there. First game, can't wait.
I think that
Good to be back.
Have you got the same seat though?
Yeah, same seat again, same one.
Yeah,
my ass print is in that chair. I've had it since the stadium opened, so it's.
When you retire your season ticket, you're gonna have to take the chair with you.
I will. That's my chair.
But yes. So I'm going to try and go down. I want to try and go down, but it just depends what's going on. Otherwise, I'll try and find another way to keep up to date with what is going on. What are your expectations ahead of the game then? Do you think there'll be any changes to the team?
I can't see him changing the team, to be honest, at all. I don't know. I'd be surprised. I'm trying to think who else could possibly come in. If Cabango's fit again, I can't see him come straight into the starting lineup. I've heard that maybe Joe Allen might make the bench.
He won't come straight in, though.
He won't be straight in, so I can't see any changes to the starting lineup.
I thought Martin said he probably is too early for him, but we'll see sometimes it's a surprise. I said on the pre-match, I actually went on the Rovers Chat podcast, like their one, as well as obviously doing the pre-match for us, and I said to them I didn't see any changes in the team, but one that if there's going to be one I could see is perhaps Ryan Manning coming in for Sorinola. Maybe he's going to give them a bit of time each to sort of stake the claim for that shirt. But otherwise, I can't see much else happening. I don't even know who didn't make the bench last week that could come up. Like maybe, obviously, there's Joe Allen to come back. Does Kyle Joseph feature? Like, what's going on with him? I feel like if Liam Cullen's on the bench, then he's not going to be around.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone else because obviously Ryan Bennett is basically never going to play again.
Get him in.
Yes, I can't see any faces that I recognise missing.
No, I don't think so. Nothing jumping out to me. You said
maybe Brandon Cooper, but obviously if Cabango's there, then he's not going to feature either.
He'd probably go on loan money, I think, before.
Well, he could have to keep someone, because if there's an injury, like if Cabango wasn't injured, he'd be on the bench, and then you've got three centre-backs, he's next.
Yeah.
I know you've got Manning as well, but then you've got the same situation there where injuries to Sorinola and there's only one, do you know what I mean? So I feel like you have to keep Brandon Cooper. If we're playing three centre-backs, you need 5 minimum.
I think they've probably got enough cover, though. I think they might, like Manning can slot in and Cabango will rotate and Wood, Darling, Norton.
Yeah, but there's 3 centre-back positions.
Yeah, but if they bring in another wing back as well, which they probably will.
If they bring in a wing back and Latabodia goes back to centre back, but
I think
that's ifs and buts, isn't it? For this, we have to wait and see.
No, but I think that's why he's still there. I think if they bring in a wing back now, I think Cooper goes out on loan.
Yeah, maybe. It's a shame, really, but I would like to see more of him.
Yeah, I think he deserves more of a chance because he started.
He did quite well last year,
didn't he? Yeah, I thought he done all right.
Yeah, the start of the season, and then it just fizzled out for him. But there we go. But I can't see much else. Hopefully, we get to see like Ollie Cooper or Cameron Congreve coming off the bench. That's what I would like to see in this one if we get a good game. Blackburn, though, they had a good start. We obviously put them at bottom half of our predictions table. They got a new manager. Mowbray left after quite some time, I think. I can't remember what the length of service was. But they had a 1-0 win at home to QPR. I think when I was on the podcast with them, they said it was a bit of a dull game, really, but probably deserved to win it. QPR also got a new manager, I believe, going through a transition.
Yeah.
So, bit of a... Maybe you can't read too much into that game, really. A goal was by Lewis Travers from midfield, so like a little bit like Darlin's, a bit of a screamer. And
so hard this time of the season to judge.
Yeah. The assist was from former Swan Ryan Hedges. So he's probably going to start in a central attacking midfield role.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one for your betting slips. If you did want to bet on the former Swan scoring, he is likely to start. Obviously, some of the other threats, I think the obvious one is Ben Barrington Diaz. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
But he's playing him on like the right, I think, or the left. Sorry, rather than like a striker. I thought he was a striker. Was he like an attacker?
Yeah, more of a striker, I think. I was last year.
Yeah, according to SofaScore, they played him as like a left winger. So maybe he just joins the attack and when they go forward. And maybe it's a bit like Ayu, where he has a bit of a free role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've obviously made a couple of signings. You've got Callum Britton right back. He'd probably be one to watch out for as well. Good Otherwise, be a good battle between John Buckley in the middle and Matt Grimes. But it should be a decent game.
I think we're going to start slow. I think it's going to take us a while to get going again. So I could possibly see us losing this game.
I mean,
don't know why.
Hang on. Sorry, I just realised something. So I'm looking at the Blackburn QPR game. Are we allowed 5 substitutes this season?
Yeah. No, not to come on.
In the QPR Blackburn game, QPR used 5 substitutes.
I thought they put it back down to 3, didn't they?
Yeah, well, last year it was 3.
Oh, that's I can't.
I'm not going crazy now. I'll have to have a look at this because I thought they scrapped that. Well, me too, but they've definitely used 5 subs here, and it's not like any other rules. Is there like injury or blood sub or nothing? Weird.
Well, yeah, they can do concussion substitutes now, I think, can't they?
Is it?
But I thought they went back down to because you used to be able to have like 7 on the bench, wasn't there, and use 5.
Yeah, there is 7 on the bench now.
Yeah,
I'll do a quick Google. I'll try to anyway. Oh, hang on. EFL confirmed 5 substitutes rule change. 10th of June.
Yeah, they definitely used 5.
Yeah, so it looks like you can. So we probably look like amateurs now. I didn't realise that was a thing, but yeah, in the EFL, they followed the Premier League's lead in reintroducing 5 substitutes rule as of the 22-23 campaign.
I don't like that.
No?
I don't like 5 subs. I think that's ridiculous.
But then now I'm thinking, we only used 2, and
why did we only use 2?
I didn't get a chance to come on the pitch.
But
in this QPR Blackburn game, Blackburn only used 1, and QPR used 5.
5 is way too much. You're changing half your outfield team.
It's the rules now.
Nah, I don't like that. They don't fit it for the Premier League teams because bloody Pep and
playing too many minutes.
Pep and Guardiola.
I like the Community Shield, but I think the date should change.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Enough, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we should have more subs because players are tired." No, it's because you've got multi-million-pound players sat on the bench as well, and you can just bring more on.
Yeah. Well,
so I think if your 3 £100 million signings don't work, we'll bring on another 3 and then some more.
I think they should adapt the rule slightly. So 3 subs, and then you're allowed 5, but the extra 2 you're only allowed for an injury.
Yeah, that's fair because I don't like it when
someone gets injured and they're down to 10 minutes,
and then someone gets injured. Yeah. Oh, but you'll have people like pretending to be injured. They don't. Oh yeah, my hamstring's gone.
I guess you'd have to find a way of refereeing that properly, but I feel like that would be a better version of the rule.
Yeah. I don't like 5 subs. That's just to suit those teams with massive squads.
Yeah, but they've done it all down the league, haven't they? So it's in the Championship, League 1 and League 2. So it's not going to suit Man City down there.
There's no excuse really though for us.
And to be honest, right, that's the negative side of it. But you could look at the positives for teams like us and other lower league teams. Maybe it would give some youth players more of a chance of getting some minutes.
No, it works. It works for us because we play Saturday, Tuesday quite often. So it works for players genuinely for like fitness and stuff. But, the Premier League teams, they play 19 games. So they're already less than us. I know they play a lot more games if they go in, far in more competitions. but they don't play Champions League every midweek.
No.
That's only once every couple of weeks.
But if you get to the top of the game, it's part of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's
Anyway.
a conversation for another day, maybe. The other player from Blackburn I want to highlight, which I'm not sure what his injury situation is right now. He was on the bench against QPR. Bradley Dack, he is still there. Obviously, been a danger man in recent seasons. Not always been on the pitch because of his injury record, but maybe one to look out for if he comes off the bench.
Yeah, well, he did have good form before, but I think he's just more of a reality TV person now, isn't he, rather than a footballer?
Is he?
Yeah, hasn't he got with someone who used to be on Love Island?
God knows, I have no idea.
They had a TV program, I think. I think he's just more of a celebrity now. But if he does find his form again, he was quality, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't seen any news or anything to discuss this week, but I haven't really looked either. So have you got anything Swansea City related that's worth touching on?
No, nothing. No, I tell you what we didn't cover was they brought out the third kit, didn't they?
Well, I touched on it earlier. I said with a giveaway, but maybe give us your opinion.
Do we need 3 kits?
Well, we've had 3 kits for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, I know, but
quite a while now. What colours are normal kits? We've got white, and then second kit is
orange.
Forgot. Well, that's why. It's because it's kit clash with all the red teams.
Yeah, but they do that every year. They have to bring out a black kit just to play against the red teams. How about we have
Yeah, well, apparently there was kit clash against Rotherham, which is why they released the third kit for this week.
Yeah, no, they do it every year.
Maybe, but I do like. I only buy usually one anyway, unless I get the others in the sale at the end of the season. I do like.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm torn this year because I like the black one and I like the orange one.
Yeah, the black one wasn't too keen on in the pictures, but it looks more of like a grey, like not like a jet black. It's more like a charcoal grey.
Yeah,
it looks quite nice. Yeah, I don't know. I quite like. I like all the kits this year. To be fair, they look nice. Do we need 3 every year?
To be fair, right? We need. I mean, I'm not that worried about it because it's something that hypes the fans up. A lot of fans like it, and ultimately, we're in a situation where any money we can get is good for the club. I know a lot of people don't want to feed the Americans' pockets, but you know what it's like. We're selling players otherwise. So if it's going to help a little bit, then
it's a big ask with 3 kits, though. I think. Like I like what Brentford did because Brentford brought their kit out last year and they said they were going to have that kit for 2 years.
Do they?
Yeah, so they've got the same kit that they had last season. Their home.
Maybe
kit.
that would be a good way of doing it. 3 kits, but we're going to keep them for 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think they brought out a new. I think they brought out a new away kit this year, but they said that away kit is going to last for 2 years now as well.
Yeah, fair enough. There is a little bit of news. It's not directly Swansea related because it's quite quiet actually. I've just seen an article from Planet Swans that says, "Is this one of the quietest transfer windows yet?" So ultimately, have jinxed it for us. What a joking, lads! But yeah, it is quiet. There's not much news. There's not much talk about our players leaving. Touch wood. There's not much talk about any players coming in. Not really much to talk about with transfers, but we have still got just under a month left. But one thing I have seen in regards to the transfer market, which isn't directly related to Swansea, but Renato Sanchez has gone to PSG.
Made in Swansea.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously. Obviously, we made him. That move to us made his career.
Is he the biggest flop ever for Swansea?
I think you'd have to say yes because of the hype around the signing, how big that signing was to what it actually turned out to be. I think you'd have to say yes.
Do you want to know they only paid £12.6 million to Lille for him? 24 years old as well, still quite young.
God, he's only 24.
32 caps as well.
God, there we go.
I mean, he's done well. He did well at Lille, so he kind of got his career back on track there, I think.
Yeah.
And I believe the manager that he played for at Lille is now manager of PSG, which is probably why he's ended up going there. Obviously, he gets the best out of him, but maybe he's finally got his career on the right path. It definitely wasn't the highlight when he was at Swansea, that's for sure.
He was forced to come to us when he did.
Yeah, he was. Although I will say, I do think that Carlos Carvajal was on the right track of getting the best out of him for that second half of the season until he got injured.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember he came back to the end of the team and he looked really sharp.
Yeah, I mean,
And then he got injured
Portuguese
again.
links there. Maybe he just tapped into
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
that helped, and then he got that injury, and yeah, it was disappointing because I would have liked to have seen if he could turn it around and what he could offer. 'Cause you never know; he could have been what we needed to stay up.
That's mad, that is. That season, we started with Tammy Abraham and Renato Sanchez in our squad and got relegated.
It's because it's the squad. I don't think the squad was a squad that would have normally got relegated necessarily. I think it's because there was a mixture of playing styles in terms of the playing talent in the squad.
And
So
Rocket,
you had like players that Hugh Jenkins was still signing for like a Michael Laudrup style, and then you had some players like Sam Klukas that fit Paul Clement, but then it just didn't mix, and they just couldn't get it working. And then by the time like Carvajal came in, he was obviously like already doomed. Really, I mean, he nearly saved us. To be fair, like we were so far adrift when he took over. He did a good job to get us back to even where we finished. It's just because he did get us out of the relegation zone, and then we ended up going back in. People get frustrated about it, but I think like you got to remember when he took over. I'm sure there was a stat like nobody's ever survived from being this far away.
I think we
actually got clear 3 points. Yeah,
I'm sure we were bottom when he took over.
He got us out of relegation zone, and
we
had to play Stoke and Southampton at home, who were both in the relegation zone.
Yeah,
and we
it was the Southampton game, wasn't it? We lost that game. Now was it then?
Yeah, what done it was still I maintain that red card against Huddersfield, Jordan Ayew, because we didn't score a goal after that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, because that was when we were taking over. Yeah, because we beat Liverpool, we beat Arsenal, and like we were
doing well.
We were still technically not relegated on the last day, even when we lost to Southampton.
Yeah, and we still lost. Stoke,
but we needed to win like 18-0 or something, didn't we, to stay up on the last day? But if we had got a point against Southampton in that midweek, we would have been in it on the last day.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. Like, I can't believe how big an impact that red card. We all thought it was a good point at Huddersfield when we got the red card and managed to scrape the point. But what it did was got rid of any momentum we had going forward with the link up between Andre Ayew and Jordan Ayew. The entire duration for his ban for 3 games, we didn't score a goal. Yeah. And that was it then. The momentum had gone, all the confidence had gone. Whereas he doesn't get that red card. Maybe we sneak a win at Huddersfield, and it's just, that's all it could have been. That's all.
And it rumbles through.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine lines of that.
There we go. I think Carvajal deserves credit. And he was actually linked to the Blackburn job, mind. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, he always keeps popping up. I didn't realise. Who was he managing now? Is it Braga?
I'm not sure.
I think it might be. I think he's managing Braga, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think that's everything I've got then, really. Anything else you want to touch on before we finish?
No, that's me.
So, it'll be hopefully a good home game on the weekend. Get a win. Do you want to put your neck on the line and say a prediction?
Yeah, I think we're going to lose 2-1.
Really? I'm going to say 2-0 win.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm feeling good. I think it's going to be a good year, but let's hope anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Well, there we go. Let us know in the comments below what you think the score is going to be at the Swansea.com stadium on Saturday. Swansea take on Blackburn Rovers. Do you think we're going to win, draw, or lose? And who's going to maybe score the goals? So let us know. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date and like the video to show you appreciate what we're doing. And we shall catch you in the next video. So see you soon.
See you.